Wolfgang, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Kuunnelkaa ja nauttikaa. Valitut palat. Reader's Digest. Hurricanes. Jailbird. I'm gonna fucking rewind some of these.
I went there, asked, hey, do you have any tips for gay?
Tips how to be gay. What to do if you're gay. Maybe tips like in tipping, you know? Cool. But hey, you know what? The Finnish politicians get away with shit they said in their 30s. So, I mean, it's fine. I think. I don't think there's anything as incriminating in these tapes of me being a 10-year-old rapping over a fucking instrumental loop from my Casio. I forget where that sentence started, but it might get rough. I don't know which side. I don't know fucking anything about what's on these things. Might be I'm rewinding to the beginning of side A, and the only good stuff turns up like 3/4 through side B. Remember this sound? Yeah, so wonderful. Pekka Töpöhäntä. OG. Let's put on some Pekka Töpöhäntä while I'm scrounging for some more tapes. On niin ilkeä. Silakan ylistys. On kohta niitä 1,000,000. That's a little racy. Pieni kissan laulu. Kissajengi kokoontuu. Maijan odotuslaulu. 800 metrin juoksu. Tärkeintä on missä sydän on. On kohta niitä 1,000,000. Saatanaa. Terveisin Riikka Purra. This is fucking good. That's a straight up like a black metal slow blast beat, like a skank beat. That was fucking black metal. Actually, this whole passage sounds a little black metal-y. What the hell, Pekka Töpöhäntä? Elä pelle svanslös. It might be that the best material actually we're going to hear today is from these actual tapes, because what we have here is tapes of music, like actual purchased tapes, and then we have blank tapes, which I have naturally recorded something over. But then also we have these Reader's Digest like sample tapes that they sent to my dad in the mail in the 80s and 90s. And as you can see, of course, I've taped over the holes, which meant that you can now press record and record whatever you want over them. Yeah, these are the golden standard. These Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart tapes, because they're really short. They're like 10 minutes aside or something. And I know for a fact that I've got like 3 or 4 of them. They are crammed full of like OG stuff. And then there's these 90-minute tapes, which are going to be a real slog to listen through, because I'm guaranteed I've recorded like Smashing Pumpkins, the Beastie Boys, like Rage Against the Machine off the radio or something. At like one side, just like scrambled albums and stuff. And then there's like maybe an interjection of me going, ah! At some point. But I will do this for you. And if this turns out to be many parts instead of just one video, then so be it, because I'm down. As the kids say nowadays, I'm here for it. I'm here for many parts of me doing this. Some of these tapes are marked. I've actually labeled them, in other words. It says Pusa or Corner Shop. That is Presidents of the United States of America, which are fucking great. Still listen to them regularly. And Corner Shop. Do you remember the Corner Shop song? It wasn't called Bowling. What the hell was it called? Corner Shop. The song went, everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. And Hang on. Down to 5. Was it Breakfast at... No, that Breakfast at Tiffany's. Everybody needs a bosom for... What the fuck was the song called? Anyway, Corner Shop, that song, and then the CD single had the Fatboy Slim remix on it as well. And that Fatboy Slim remix is dope, because I was a big Fatboy Slim fan in the yonder 90s. Let's check if the label is accurate.
For him and himself and everybody.
I remember in 3rd grade or 4th grade, this song came out, and a friend of mine bought the CD single, and I lent it off him and recorded it onto this tape. Apparently, what the fuck? Was I really a fan of the song, or was it just peer pressure? Anyway, here we go. Corner Shop. 45. This is the Fatboy Slim remix.
She's the one, she's the dream alive. From the morning to the evening to the end of the life. Real full of action on the 45. Well, it's a real.
If you know this song, you know you're a 90s wreck.
Everybody needs a bosom.
There was something about the, let's say, mid to late 90s electronic music sound, you know, the very big beat influenced and big beat oriented electronics music sound that I was so hugely into. There was this radio station in Finland called Radio Mafia. It was one of the big stations, and every Monday evening from like 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. they had a show called Marginali, and yeah, which is like marginal, or they always played this really like out there, like early drum and bass stuff, but not like you think, like pendulum type, like kick snare, not that type of drum and bass, but the sort of electronic, I guess, big beat jungle-ish stuff that had a variation of this exact drum beat going on, or drum loop. You know, and just like layering wonderful rhythms and stuff on top of that. I'm actually terrified. This is highly stressful. Okay. I see a lot of also audiobooks. I think most of them are in Swedish because I am bilingual. I'm trilingual or whatever. Grew up speaking Swedish and Finnish at home. So we have some Swedish audiobooks, mostly Tintin. Does anyone know Tintin? Is Tintin a thing? He has to be, like, somewhere in Europe, because Hergé was French, right? So we got some Tintin audiobooks in Swedish. Then we have a lot of Brothers Grimm fables in Finnish. And they were read by this Finnish man who has a great voice, and it was these uncut, uncensored, director's cut, like just readings of the Brothers Grimm tales, and they were traumatizing. I wouldn't say traumatizing in a bad sense, but tantalizing, titillating. It was wonderful as a 5-year-old to listen to, you know, a tape of a grown man sitting there reading you stories about a woodcutter chopping a young girl's feet off, and the feet then danced away, still wearing the red shoes that she had coveted. And then she was pulling herself along with the help of crutches, and she wanted to go to church to repent for having coveted a pair of red shoes. She hadn't even fucking stolen the shoes. I get sort of the moral of the story. If this girl's walking down the street, she sees a shop, a shoemaker's, cobbler, whatever, and there's a pair of red shoes in the window, and she just breaks in at night and steals them. Then I would understand if the shoes were then fucking cursed and made her dance until they danced her into the woods, where she met a woodsman who hacked her feet off, and then the feet danced away with the shoes. Terrifying, right? But no, she just bought the shoes, and it was merely for the fact that she had coveted the shoes, and that she expressed vanity in herself, that her feet were just taken over. But anyway, so she has these crutches when she goes to the church because she wants to repent. I don't know, maybe she will like, God, please save me or kill me or whatever. Maybe crucify me. Who the fuck knows? But then her plans are marred because the feet end up like at the church gate. The feet like come dancing, and they nope her hard. They start dancing. They're doing a little jig in front of her. So she has to turn around and not go to church and repent. So, I mean, listening to stories like that, really, I'm not going to go into those that much because they won't be containing any surprises. But these unmarked tapes might have a lot of cool stuff on them. So, here we go. Well, speaking of unmarked tapes, this one's not unmarked. This one says Santana or Jethro Tull. Now, the O is an abbreviation for the Swedish word ok, which means and. So, essentially, this says Santana and Jethro Tull, and then I've drawn my facial expression while thinking of said artist there. Yeah, this had to have been, I was not 8+ when I was into Santana and Jethro Tull. Maybe this is 90 minutes, so 45 plus 45 minutes. So maybe one side is Jethro and the other side is Santana. Santana. This is awesome because I've actually been looking for this Santana CD. My dad had this collection CD, this Santana collection CD, which I recorded onto tape. But I don't know what that CD was, and I've been looking at it or for it on the internet and stuff. But since I don't know which collection album it was, I don't know what the songs were called. So now, popping in the tape and putting it on, I could Shazam it, I guess, or Google the lyrics and listen for them. But yeah, this is cool. I haven't heard this in 25 years. All around in the air. I really like this 70s sounding disco Santana. It was the best, and I have really fond memories of actually listening to this and sitting outside in the summertime on our terrace painting Warhammer figures. Good times, man. Really good. Actually, I'm going to set this tape aside because I legitimately want to sit down and listen to this. I think that was side A. Let's check out side B. Jethro? No! More Santana. This is Soul Sacrifice. This is a studio version of the song. It was famously in the Woodstock 69 version, which has that amazing drum solo. This studio version of Soul Sacrifice has a tiny drum solo. It's really cool. But yeah, it has to be the 69 Woodstock, right? The legendary one. You can probably find it on YouTube. I remember they showed it on TV, Santana at Woodstock, and the Soul Sacrifice live clip. And I taped it onto VHS, which I then taped the audio to a cassette tape. So that sounded like shit. I had the VHS, already bad quality. That audio coming out of our little TV speaker, that audio traveling into the tiny mic of a cassette recorder. But I was so mesmerized by that drum solo that I had to do it. And I was actually listening to it. Although I remember there was like more, you could hear the rattling of the tape recorder, of the cassette player, more than the actual song at times, but that didn't bother me. Like that was a type of fidelity that you would get used to before. I mean, back then, and it didn't bother you. And now you're like fucking like, oh, my bit rate is bad on Spotify, or it's not. It's bad quality MP3. Fuck off. Speaking of drum solos. 5 Bunker, Jethro Tull, song Dharma for One. And yeah, I was obsessed with drums and drumming from when I was like 6, 7 years old. I would hear a track like this, and I couldn't believe that drum solos actually existed within songs. So listening to, Dad's records, this was a Jethro Tull collection, and hearing a drum solo like this, and there was something about this. He does some really smooth snare rolls. I think who the fuck knows with these '60s guys? They were insane. But maybe they're press rolls or whatever. But the way they're so even, and then he does like crazy rolls just around the kit, and something about that just made it click in my head. Like, oh, this is fucking just. That snare tone. I got sweaty. Oh my god. The word groove gets thrown around a lot, but wow. Christ. Also, I found another box of cassette tapes because I was like, hey, wait a second, there's something missing. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of stuff missing. There was the Prodigy, Music for the Jilted Generation, missing, among other things. Let's see, where's this at? Oh. For those of you who have seen the original album art for the vinyl or CD, for the tape cover, they just squished the aspect ratio of it. Same goes with the this image. I remember as a kid, this is my older sister's on tape. What the fuck? Where's all the music? Oh my god! You know what? The tape just broke. It wasn't broken when I put the tape in, but now, 30 years later, well, it's fixable, so it's fine. But I remember my older sister getting this album when I was 5, and that was the first time I'd seen, I think, probably someone flip the bird. And I remember asking, what does that mean? And my sister probably said, it means fuck you! And I was like, what does that mean? And I understood the context in the image. It was like, yeah, so I can tell he's being a bad boy, but this looks like the real bad boy side, although they have a dog. So yeah, that was good. Well, this one's fairly well known, so I don't have to showcase it for you. I can't. But what else? Scooter! But yeah, anyway, that's a lot of stuff that you can just look up on Spotify. Now, let me dive into... So fucking cool. I need to listen to this whole song. I need to make a cover of this. Is it an instrumental? Awesome one splash. Backbeat. Okay, this is metal. This was, I guarantee, this was composed, recorded, written, arranged by metalheads. This is really cool. Okay, so that was looking at the song titles here. I think that sounded to me like 800 metrin juoksu. That is the 800-meter dash. But if we flip over the tape to side A, maybe we can hear some vocals here. Or some blast beats. More blast beats or screaming. I don't know.
Niin saan meistä vaikka kaverin. No varmaan siis tulkoon kissa leijona tai vaikka leopardi. Meidän ettemme karkuun juokse, ei tarvi. Jos tulee kissa itkeään, niin sanomme me blää blää. Jos hiukan kilpaa juostaan, niin tuo laiskataan sut toiseksi jää.
Raiskataan!
Jos tulee kissa itkeään, niin sanomme me blää blää. Jos hiukan kilpaa juostaan, niin tuo laiskataan sut toiseksi jää.
Jos niin tuo raiskataan, ei se laiskatassu, mutta en kumminkin. Pekka Töpöhäntä, this is going into my goat pile over there. Maija ja Liisa. But okay, main event. Let's go for the main course here, okay? And now, the moment you've been waiting for and I've been dreading. Let's do it live. Whoops.
Me olemme tupakkarummut.
Sen oli jäätävä tänne.
You know that feeling of when something... What the fuck was that? Me olemme tupakkarummut. Okay, so I had a pair of bongos. And they were, as you could hear, down-tuned, like do. And I called them tupak, like tobacco drums. I think it probably in reference because they were like low in pitch, sort of like a smoker's voice. Tupakkarummut, tobacco drums.
Me olemme tupakkarummut.
Good beat.
Sen oli jäätävä tänne.
That's what I used to do that actually a lot. We'll probably hear more of that. Is like I was recording into the mic and then switch on the radio. You know what? I'll go get the tape recorders and I can explain this wonderful process to you in real time as we're listening to this shit.
Päiväkausia Lassie makasi.
Lassie! It was about Lassie! So here is the actual tape recorder, which these masterpieces were recorded on. Check out, by the way, the whiteness of the front and the yellowness of the back. Here we have some of the original coloring of the plastic. And then we have, remember stuff that looked like this? Makes me think of the smell of old computer monitors. So we have here's, you know what, I'll jack the power from this one. See it there. Naturally, it had a hatch here. Yeah, it's gone now. And there's the mic. It says condenser mic. Yeah, cool. What the hell? It's like buzzing. I'll switch on the radio. So, still works. What is this? That's some finished bullshit, but yeah. So what I would do is I'd have a tape like this and then record, turn it on the radio, and it would switch from recording my voice in the condenser mic to whatever was playing on the radio. So that was a technique that I utilized a lot. This would still be functional. You know what? If I actually just grab some random tape here, like this one, see what it has on it. It says Moby play, but time will tell. What the fuck? The eject button. There we go. It was stuck. It's Moby play. Porcelain? Good song. Let's see if I can still record with this. I should make like a solo album with this. Okay, so hit record. Recording! Oh! Let's see now. And you know what? I'm not going to sweat this one anymore. I'm not going to make this bad boy work any more than this because it'll probably explode. So, plug this one back in. Let's see if it recorded. If the condenser mic still worked. That's awesome. It still works. I could actually still make stuff with this one. Fucking dope. I could have one of these old cassettes of me doing old stuff and then just like go straight into, I don't know, embarrassing myself. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, the tupakkarummut. I'm saying Lassie heard the drums, boom, 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 boom. Then Lassie heard the drums, and the drums said. That was Lassie. Also, I'm doing a voice. I'm doing. I don't know if you can hear it, but I had this vocal technique of sounding like an old man. I thought it sounded like. Oh, and then I just did that apparently. It was like I folded my tongue in my mouth somehow. Lassie. It was like this. Lassie. Silloin Lassie kuuli rummut. And then I'd talk like this because it made my voice sound like an old man, I thought. It still kind of works. What would a death metal growl sound like in that voice? Not far from what Travis does, actually. I'm gonna have to refine that technique. The sound of ADHD. Now we're getting into the metal territory. Dityev Lava? What was that?
Килогерц, а также на средних волнах на частоте 550 Вт.
Войны!
That was the best thing I've ever recorded in my life. All my musical projects and bands endeavors included. That was a Russian radio broadcast saying something in Russian, and then me going, Vayni! Which is like, I see! 1 second pause. Ah! Wow, okay. Please enjoy this in replay.
Килогерц, а также на средних волнах на частоте 550 Вт.
Войны!
I don't know how much more of this I can take during this session. I vaguely remember this. I vaguely do remember this. I was into aggressive. Period. I was into aggression, I guess. I was into aggressive music. I was into aggressive vocals, And this was before before I listened to bands like, I don't know, Slipknot or for those of you who are familiar with the Smashing Pumpkins, if you ever saw them live during the 90s, from 1990 to 2000, I guess, Billy would always, most of the time, he'd be screaming a lot. He had this awesome screaming sound. On the Melancholy album as well. So I was a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, and I loved Billy's screaming. So I think this is me trying to figure out how the fuck he does that. And I think my conclusion was, oh, he's probably just screaming really closely into the condenser mic of his Euromatic made in China cassette tape recorder. And that's how he achieved that distortion in his voice on the Melancholy album. That's great. What a great snapshot of my life. I love this. I love the fact that what you hear here is me, essentially being me, doing what I still do today as a grown-up, trying to figure out a way to make my voice sound the way that cool guy's voice sounded. It's amazing. By the way, get another load of that. Euromatic, made in China. Euromatic. Just like Billy Corgan would have done. That's a good one. Ooh, I was kind of going into a lower register there at the end, like being throaty. That was cool. I was figuring stuff out. Cool. Very nice. Like it went from a whoa. Fuck, dude. Oh, there I just went full throat. Hear that? Damn, that was some fucking false chord screaming from a 10-year-old me. So that I'm running out of steam now. How dare I? Fuck was that? What could that have been from? That was not me playing the drums, and that was not the sound of my Casio keyboard drum either. What the hell? No. What is this? What is... The force of the cringe is actually shoving me away from the fucking cassette deck. I thought I was beyond cringing at what the fuck I did when I was 10.
I told you.
Haista paska track. Oh my god. You know what? I sound like the Finnish youth today on the TikTok.
Fucking track.
It was...
Play the fucking track. Play the fucking track.
What the fuck was that? Was Limp Bizkit.
Play the fucking track.
Okay, hang on. Haista paska track. What?
Haista paska track.
Play the fucking track. Play the fucking track.
But you know what? I think okay, so I'm defending myself because you can hear the difference between me deliberately recording myself and then just sort of this weird sound of me just muttering to myself. I think I was accidentally recording myself just talking, and then I was trying to do like a Limp Bizkit mix because I did the thing where I had to play the fucking track song intro playing, and then I did the radio switch on thing. So wow, what a moment in time to be captured.
Minä olen todellakin vihainen vari.
minä olen todellakin vihainen vari. Vari is a wolf in Swedish. Guess I didn't know the fucking word susi. Okay, let's bring out the vari. Oh, it's on my other arm, sorry. I'm a really angry wolf.
Minä olen todellakin vihainen vari. Hei, minä olen nyt.
Damn, I was about to go into a character and then I just apparently have recorded over that with something else. I hope it's not the sounds of me touching myself. TikTok, you hear what's happening, right? You hear the song cutting. I was doing like a thing where okay, I know what I was doing, but the question is why? And the question is, was this the first time I did it? And is it captured here on tape? Is you put the tape to record, right? You turn on the radio, whatever was on. TikTok, Kynelet was on, apparently. And then if you pause it at the just the right time and continue, then, you know, it pauses the recording until it comes back around. And I was like cutting out chunks of the song, like probably every other bar or so, but kept the beat of the song going to see what my capabilities were. Pretty solid work. Oh my god, I don't know. How much further can I go into this hell? I think we're in for a two-parter, guys. 3, 4, 5, 6-parter. We're going to have to come back to this shit because this is beyond amazing.